breaks and self-destruct. I'd seen people get horrible breaks, and this just destroyed their life. So I had a pretty good reference on, and really very, very good parents and family. So it was not the easiest thing to deal with, but it was okay.
You know, I was talking to some people about talking with you today, and we were talking about Magnum. They're like naming their favorite episodes, and the one episode that you mentioned in the book, I think is your favorite, Home from the Sea.
Yes, it is.
It was like people were mentioning that, like that's the episode, and that's the episode you won the Emmy for, right?
Yes, it is.
So, and you talk about your dad a lot in the book, and your mom too, but your dad. But this particular episode, which is an amazing episode, you can watch it on YouTube. You can find it easily streaming. You're out there in the ocean. Magnum's 4th of July, and you like to go out, but you filmed this swimming out in the ocean.
Yeah, we didn't go to some studio with a water tank and pretend we were in the ocean. We went out in the deep water.
Day and night.
Day and night. Tiger sharks and hammerheads in the water. We had 2 divers in the water. But Don Belisario saw it that way, and our producer and creator of Magnum, and it made all the difference in the world. It was really easy to act, because it wasn't easy to tread water all day in the open ocean. But it is my favorite episode.
And as Magnum is treading water, he's remembering this conversation he had with his father.
Yeah.
And I watched it again last weekend, and having read your book, I couldn't help but think of the relationship that you had with your father and the conversations that you must have had with him too.
Well,
Fortunately, your father didn't pass early.
Yeah. Pardon? Yeah. My dad, all I can say is when I was growing up, I wanted to be just like him. But when I got Magnum, I had a job at USC. I was their campus representative for United Airlines, and that was my job. I had to work to help pay my tuition, and I went to my dad and I said, Dad, I got offered this contract in a studio by accident, and what do you think I should do? And he thought for a minute, and he said, well, it's kind of like your brother Bob. My brother Bob played in the Dodger organizations, Tommy Lasorda side. And he said, it's like your brother Bob. If something that's considered special like that comes along and you pass it up, you might get to be about 35 and wonder what if. And it was really good advice, and we talked a little more. He says, but you got to tell your boss. I was hoping he'd call my boss, but that wasn't my dad. So anyway, but I was just going out. I said, thanks, Dad. And he said something kind of under his breath. It was more to himself than to me, but I heard it. And it was, he said to himself, just don't let him change you. And I realized that wasn't easy advice to give. I had 2 years of training with United Airlines. I had a job when I got out of school, and now I was going to go off to Hollywood. But he gave that advice freely and fully, and I talk about it a lot in the book because it just meant a lot. It's like yesterday when I remember him saying that. You know.
I